Yo, what's up, bruh? Sitting here wondering, what the heck is Crossout? Where do I click? How do I even build a car? And why does my ride fall apart if someone sneezes near it? Crossout is a massively multiplayer online game you can play with and against anyone, anywhere. Lots of players. So how does it work? Chill, I gotcha. I'm gonna break it all down nice and easy. In this video, how to level up fast, which builds are best for beginners, and why strapping 3 tons of scrap metal to your junker's a terrible idea. Buckle up, I know Crossout, let's roll. Forget everything I told you about, just play and it'll all come together. That's Fantasyland around here. In Crossout, nothing's coming unless you make it happen. So right here, right now, I offer a few tips to help you level up quick and actually get into the game having fun without losing your mind. First things first, you need that will to play and a solid head start, preferably without breaking a sweat, and that's where I come in. Head down to the description, there's a link waiting for you that'll hook you up with a killer bonus right out of the gate. Click that link, pick your platform, and register. That'll get you 3 combat-ready vehicles and 3 days of premium, which is going to help a lot with leveling. Premium boosts your rep game, gives you daily coin quests, raises your resource cap, and increases loot drops across multiple game modes. I'll explain all that stuff. And those 3 starter rides, use them in battle, or if you get bored, scrap them and repurpose the parts for your own custom builds. It's a solid boost, trust me. Trying to grind out all those parts the hard way would take forever. So yeah, definitely register using that link. It's way too good to pass up. With this kind of start, you'll have 3 full builds ready to go. And if you're the type who likes to get creative, go for it. Use the bonus parts however you want. Build a monster truck, a murder toaster, or even a wheeled, whatever you call it. All right, let's break down the other ways to farm and level up, and after that, I'll hit you with a few solid tips on how to build your so-called machine. Resource farming is one of the most important parts of Crossout. It's baked into pretty much everything you do. Missions, brawls, raids, you name it. Throw some decorative parts on your ride too. They give you a little farming boost, especially in PvE modes. How you look matters. Early on, if you want to craft rare weapons and gear, you'll need gray quality parts, copper, and scrap metal. For epic equipment, you'll need copper, scrap, wires, and blue quality parts. So where do you get all this stuff? Scrap metal, standard missions and brawls. Copper, found in raids against AI mobs. Wires from the Get the Wires mission, which unlocks at level 10. Let's talk about farming specifics real quick. Scrap metal, the winning team always gets more resources. Besides the extra scrap, winners also earn gray quality items. The losing team, less of everything. But keep in mind, rewards depend on how many points you earn during the match, and points come from things like land in the first hit, shooting off parts, destroying enemies, and capturing the base. So yeah, play smart and aggressive. Copper. Raids against bots are 4-player co-op. Rewards are split the same way as in missions and brawls. The more points you rack up, the more you get. When you're starting out, stick to low and mid-difficulty raids. There are a few types. Escort the truck, defend 3 oil rigs, destroy 10 raider rigs, collect 10 cargo crates, or take out the convoy. All good raids. Mid-tier raids are usually, I think, the sweet spot. Best copper per gas ratio overall. Wires. The reward system is the same here as for scrap brawls, but winning doesn't give you any gray quality parts here. If you're new, the key in Get the Wires missions is simple. Don't get yourself wrecked early and focus on helping your team win. Survive, support, and score that loot. All right, so we got the early game farming down, pretty straightforward, right? Once you hit level 10 with the Mechanics faction, you'll unlock other factions. So let's break that down quick. Who to join, who's worth your grind, and who's just there for the vibes. There are 10 factions in total, and each one has its own unique flavor and combat style. When you hit level 10 with Mechanics, you get access to 3 main factions. Which one should you join? Honestly, it doesn't really matter. You can switch between them anytime. So pick based on your playstyle and what parts or blueprints you're going for. Need certain weapons, armor types? Go where the goodies are and level that one up. All right, that kind of touches the basics. Now we hit the real challenge, building. Yeah, this is where you either become an engineering genius or a certified disaster artist. To build something that doesn't explode itself into a ditch the second it fires, you'll need vision, patience, and possibly a PhD in madness. But let's take it step by step. Step 1. Come up with a concept. Building a solid ride gets way easier if you actually know what you want. Steal an idea from the exhibition, real life, or sketch it out in MS Paint for all I care. Doesn't matter where it comes from. What matters is having a goal. Let's talk frames, the core of your ride. Your frame holds everything together. Movement, cabin, modules. If it gets shot out, you're done, so don't build a bunch of boxy squares and call it a day. You need space between frame joints for modules, especially the dangerous ones. Tuck those deep inside where one lucky hit doesn't blow your whole build in half. Important tip, always connect your frame in a loop. That way, if one part gets destroyed, the rest still holds it together, no crumbling into scrap instantly. And make sure your cabin is sitting on at least 2 frame pieces, same reason, redundancy. This will all make sense when you get into the game and you can always come back here. As for wheels, only attach them directly to the frame. 1 frame part equals 1 wheel mount. Ideally, stick wheels at frame junctions. If not, just make sure they're well supported. Again, you'll get this. Modules. The stuff that gives your car a real edge. If you've built your frame right, you'll have space to pack in all kinds of modules. Explosive ones? Hide them under the cabin. It's usually the safest spot. Read module descriptions. Know what they do and why you're adding them. Don't just stuff random junk into your car. Wheels and mobility. Always check your weight versus what your wheels can handle. If your car starts dragging like a dying rhino halfway through the match, you'll know what's up. Time to upgrade to something stronger. Also, wheels eat up cabin power, so don't slap 8 per side thinking more is better. It ain't. Use steering wheels in the front and back. Yeah, they use more power, but if your front tire gets shot off, at least you'll be able to steer and still do something in the fight. Key stats to watch and keep your eye on: mass, energy, and load capacity. This is all about balance. You want a fast ride? Pick a lighter cabin with a lower mass limit. Going for tanky? Pick a high mass one. Load capacity tells you how much weight you can slap on without slowing your car down. Stay within that limit to keep your speed and acceleration. Weapons. This is where it matters. Always mount weapons on strong parts. If the part is weaker than the gun itself, it'll get shot off in a heartbeat. Use the cabin, grates, and armor plates that are as tough or tougher than the weapon. Look at the numbers. Even better, mount weapons across multiple pieces. That way, if 1 or 2 get blown off, your gun is still holding on. Also, make sure your weapon has space to move. Test drive your build, check firing angles. Nothing worse than having a beast of a cannon that can't turn past its own armor. Armor and cosmetics, the final touch. This is where your ride gets its look and protection. Early on, yeah, your build might look rough. That's normal. It takes time, practice, and a fat inventory of parts, paints, and decor. Important, can't stress it enough, don't put heavy armor on weak parts. Makes no sense. It'll just get blown off with a single cannon shot. Use grates. Yeah, they let bullets through. Exactly why they're great for making the base frame that holds your armor. Think of it like with guns and wheels. The best setup is when parts are supporting other parts. That's how you build something that doesn't fall apart when sneezed on. Cover those wheels. Add bumpers. Wrap your whole ride in junk. Just don't overdo it. Watch your weight. And once you've finally slapped everything together into your little rolling disaster, go ahead and make it yours. Stick on some decals, throw on a paint job, maybe even toss in some weird decor just for fun. Build something your soul vibes with. Feeling overwhelmed by all this info dump chaos? Still not sure what goes on here? No shame. Just hit the exhibition, check out the top builds, open them in your garage, move stuff around, and see how everything's connected. Try copying a build or modding it into something new. It doesn't matter. The key is getting that builder's eye built up. The more you look, the more you learn. And hey, no one's stopping you from just grabbing blueprints and rolling into battle as is. Honestly, that's what I recommend when you're starting out. Just grab builds you have the parts for and start blasting. And that's a wrap, my friend. Let's call that a video. We went over the basics of fast leveling, talked about builds and their quirks, And I dropped some solid starter bonuses your way down in the description. Don't forget, the link's in the description. Now there's just one thing left. Give me a like, subscribe, hit the bell, drop a comment, show off your build in the comments. Love to see it. I'm off to put together my next monster. Good luck in battle. I'll look for you out there and see you here on the page next time.